Do you think your cat showing their belly means they want to rub? You are probably completely wrong. I bet your cat does the exact bizarre variation I will mention in reason number 3. If I am right, you owe me a like and a subscribe. Deal. Let us dive in. Wait, I am going to reveal a completely insane belly behavior at reason number 8. But to understand why your cat does it, you absolutely need the missing puzzle piece I am about to show you in reason number 2. Do not skip or it will not make sense. Reason number 1. The ultimate vulnerability check. Ever noticed your cat suddenly dropping to the floor and exposing their incredibly soft stomach right when you walk into the room? Most people assume this is an open invitation for a tummy tickle. But here is the thing. Touching that belly might actually earn you a swift bite or a scratch. According to the Feline Behavior Department at the Cornell University College of Veterinary Medicine, the stomach of a cat protects all of their most vital organs, making it their most delicate area. In the wild, exposing this section of their anatomy is a massive evolutionary risk because it leaves them totally defenseless against larger predators. In cat language, they are saying they feel entirely secure in your territory. They are not asking for a massage, they are giving you the highest compliment of safety and letting you know they do not view you as a threat. And this deep feeling of safety directly sets the stage for a much more dangerous interaction, which brings us perfectly to our next revelation. Reason number 2. The defensive bear trap. Ever noticed your cat rolling on their back while playing, only to wrap all 4 paws around your arm the second you reach out to pet them? Most people assume they just got angry, aggressive, or overstimulated out of nowhere. But here is the secret reality. Feline behaviorists from the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals explain that this is a classic predator tactic hardwired into their genetic code. When a cat is positioned on their back, they can effectively use all 4 sets of claws and their sharp teeth simultaneously to fend off an attacker or secure their prey. They are practicing their most lethal hunting maneuvers. In cat language, they are treating you like their favorite sibling from the litter. They trust you enough to practice their wildest survival instincts without actually intending to hunt or seriously injure you. If this makes sense to you and you have ever fallen victim to this furry bear trap, hit that like button and subscribe right now to join our community of cat lovers. And since they trust you enough to play fight, they also trust you with their physical comfort, leading us straight into the very thing I bet on earlier. Reason number 3. The temperature control mechanic. Ever noticed your cat sprawling out on their back in the middle of a hot afternoon, totally motionless with their belly fully exposed to the open air? Most people assume they are just exceptionally lazy or exhausted from running around the house. But here is the thing. Veterinary researchers from the Royal Veterinary College note that cats only sweat through the tiny pads on their paws. To avoid overheating during the warmer months, they expose the surprisingly thin fur on their belly to allow air to circulate and rapidly cool down their core body temperature. In cat language, they are saying, your home is their safe oasis, where they can let their guard completely down to regulate their physical body without fear of being ambushed while they are vulnerable. And speaking of their environment, the way they interact with your floors while on their back is absolutely fascinating, which brings us directly to our next point. Reason number 4. The scent marking maneuver. Ever noticed your cat aggressively wiggling their back and shoulders on your living room rug while their belly points straight up to the ceiling? Most people assume they just have a really bad itch they cannot reach, or they are trying to groom themselves in a weird way. But here is the reality. The Journal of Veterinary Behavior highlights that cats possess numerous invisible scent glands located all along their back and flanks. By writhing around on the floor in this vulnerable posture, they are purposefully depositing their unique pheromones all over the physical space you share. In cat language, they are aggressively declaring that this house and you, by extension, belongs entirely to them. They love you so much, they are literally claiming you and your shared territory with their signature scent. And once their territory is fully secured and successfully marked, they can finally let go of all their conscious control, which transitions us seamlessly into our next behavior. Reason number 5. The deep REM sleep indicator. Ever noticed your cat fast asleep on their back, maybe even twitching their little paws in the air and moving their whiskers rapidly? Most people assume this is just a funny quirk of an oddball pet trying to find a comfortable position. But here is the truth. Animal sleep specialists at the University of California, Davis explain that cats only enter rapid eye movement sleep, which is the deepest and most restorative phase of their rest cycle when their muscles are completely and utterly relaxed. Sleeping belly up requires a total and absolute release of all muscle tension, something a wild cat would never dare to do. In cat language, they are saying you are their ultimate guardian and protector. They know you will stand guard over them and keep the monsters away while they drift off into their deepest and most vulnerable dreams. And what happens right after they wake up from that glorious nap is just as important, bringing us right into the next incredible detail. Reason number 6. The morning stretch greeting. Ever noticed your cat flopping down and stretching their belly out long the moment you walk into the kitchen in the morning to make your coffee? Most people assume they are just waking up their stiff muscles after a long night of sleeping on the couch. But here is the thing. Feline researchers who published their findings in the journal Applied Animal Behavior Science classify this specific movement as an affiliative greeting behavior. It is a highly specialized physical posture used solely for preferred social partners to reset the social bond after a long period of separation. In cat language, they are basically giving you a massive emotional hug and saying they genuinely missed your presence while you were asleep in the other room. And this loving morning ritual often evolves into something a bit more complex when other elements are introduced, which is exactly what we will uncover next. Reason number 7. The playful submission trap. Ever noticed your cat rolling over to show their belly specifically when there is another pet, a new toy, or an overwhelming situation in the room? Most people assume this means they are surrendering, giving up the fight, or acting completely submissive to a dominant force. But here is the actual secret behind this move. Ethologists from the International Association of Animal Behavior Consultants state that rolling over is often a highly tactical pause in aggressive play. It is a calculated way to de-escalate tension in the room while still keeping all of their defensive weapons perfectly at the ready, just in case things go wrong. In cat language, they are showing incredible emotional intelligence and restraint. They are telling you or their furry sibling that they want to keep playing but need everyone to lower the intensity for a quick second before the game continues. And this clever use of body language perfectly prepares us for the mind-blowing revelation I promised you earlier, which brings us to the most mysterious behavior of all. Reason number 8. The phantom itch phenomenon. Ever noticed your cat exposing their belly and acting completely frantic, twitching their skin as if something invisible is severely bothering them? Most people assume they have fleas, parasites, or some kind of weird skin allergy that needs medical attention. But if you remember the defensive maneuvers from reason number 2, here is the missing puzzle piece you need. Experts from the American Association of Feline Practitioners reveal that this sudden, frantic belly exposure is often a sign of hyperesthesia, or more simply, intensely pent-up predatory energy that has absolutely no physical outlet. Without a real mouse or bird to hunt, their highly tuned nervous system overloads, causing them to show their belly in a state of extreme sensory sensitivity and frustration. In cat language, they are desperately begging you for interactive play. They trust you to grab a feather wand and help them burn off this wild ancestral energy before they completely lose their mind. And once that chaotic energy is successfully burned off, they usually seek out a very specific type of quiet comfort, leading us straight into our next peaceful observation. Reason number 9. The sunbathing solar panel. Ever noticed your cat finding the one tiny square of golden sunlight, shining on the carpet and flipping squarely onto their back to soak it all up? Most people assume they just like being warm because they are creatures of comfort. But here is the profound biological reality of this action. Veterinary biologists from Tufts University note that natural sunlight helps cats synthesize a basal level of vital nutrients on their skin and fur, which they later ingest while they are meticulously grooming themselves. Showing the belly maximizes the physical surface area exposed to the light for this absolutely crucial biological process. In cat language, they are saying they are perfectly content and biologically satisfied. They feel entirely at peace in the wonderful environment you provide for them, allowing them to focus purely on their own health and self-care. And this ultimate state of physical relaxation paves the way for the most heartwarming behavior of all, bringing us to our absolute final point. Reason number 10. The supreme declaration of feline love. Ever noticed your cat slowly rolling onto their back, looking you directly in the eyes with soft, heavy lids and letting out a gentle rumbling trill or a deep purr? Most people assume this is just another cute pose to get your attention or beg for a delicious treat. But here is the incredibly beautiful truth. Dr. John Bradshaw, a renowned anthrozoologist at the University of Bristol, confirms that when a domestic cat combines a deliberate belly exposure with slow blinking and happy vocalization, it essentially strips away every single survival instinct they possess. It goes entirely against millions of years of wild evolution and self-preservation. In cat language, they are looking right into your soul and saying you are their entire world. They are surrendering their wild nature completely because your consistent love and patience have entirely overpowered their natural-born fear. To truly understand a cat is to realize that every tiny twitch, stretch, and roll is a deeply calculated expression of their trust. They might be fierce, wild predators at heart, but they have actively chosen you as their absolute safest harbor in an otherwise chaotic world. So be honest. Did they do? Reason number 3. If they did, it is time to pay up that like and subscribe. Go give your little panther a treat for me.